Okay, so let me get my, do you see yourself? Yeah,
hi guys.
Mommy.
You don't want me to do the hi guys? I can
You want
like
to do
this.
it? To be like,
I can lean like this. Hi guys. I'm looking at the camera, right? Hi guys.
Let's take a quick picture. This for my thumbnail. So we gonna pose. So when we done, I can just cut it and put it in there. Okay.
You're not smiling.
Okay. You ready? You ready?
You gonna stop it?
No, we're just gonna start from right here, Mom. It's gonna be fine.
Or you gonna edit it?
Yeah.
Oh, you took a picture?
Yes, Mom. This is what comes up to my house. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I got a special guest with me, my mom.
Hi, guys.
Okay. I get a lot of questions asking me, you know, stuff about my wheelchair, but the main question I get is why I'm in a wheelchair. How did you know something was wrong with me, Mom?
Well, for starters, you know, I had one of those mothers that was just, you know, had the spirit of discernment. She told me shortly after you were born that something is wrong with that baby. She didn't elaborate or anything like that. And I, you know, didn't think anything of it until you got older. You started walking at 13 months. You never crawled on your knees. You just kind of slid, and I did notice back then that your legs were just like dragging along behind you. So as time went on, as you got older, you started having frequent falls. You walked slower. You had trouble climbing stairs without assistance. And so I really didn't know what to do. So I took you to a disability doctor. And he just told me, oh, you baby her too much. Just let her go. You know, so I wasn't satisfied with that answer. And right after we left out of his office, you fell. And I started to take you back in there, but I didn't. I just went on. And a short time later, I took you to a clinic, and they referred me to the university hospital and to see a neurologist. And that first neurologist was a man. He was a rough man. So he said you had cerebral palsy, and I just wasn't comfortable with him. So I took you to another neurologist, in which she started running different tests. And so it went from there.
Okay. How old was I when I was diagnosed?
You were 5 years old, and your sister Jamisha was 3, because she also came along and had the same symptoms: frequent falls, trouble walking with the gait, you know. So
were you scared or worried when they diagnosed me?
I wasn't scared or worried, I don't think. I think it was just like a out-of-body experience. I was there listening to what the doctor was saying, not comprehending it, not receiving it in my spirit either. I never really accepted it, I don't think.
Did you have any complications during your pregnancy with me or anything? Like,
no, I didn't have any complications during pregnancy, but once I went into labor, my water broke like 24 hours before you were born. The night before, it was a Wednesday night. My water broke, but it was just dry. I wasn't in any pain. So I stayed at home overnight until the next afternoon. Then about 5 o'clock that evening, I was just in excruciating pain. And I had dilated some, but I hadn't fully dilated, and the doctor ended up telling me that my cord was wrapped around your neck, so I would have to have a C-section. So I ended up having a C-section. Jamisha said it's because I couldn't push your big head out. That's why I had a C-section.
So what did the doctors come up with? Like, what was the diagnosis?
So you had a muscle biopsy done, And from that, the doctor diagnosed you and your sister with limb girdle muscular dystrophy. Later on, you were also diagnosed with scoliosis, and Jamisha was diagnosed with asthma, and later on severe sleep apnea, which she ended up having to be on a full face BiPAP machine.
So after we was diagnosed, like, how did you feel knowing, like, they're saying both of my daughters have this disease that I don't even know anything about? Like, did they explain it to you or anything?
Well,
how did you feel about it?
The doctor did tell me, first of all, don't have any more children by your dad, because he was the carrier, since it was 2 of you with the same disease.
And I have an older sister too, so she has a different dad from me and my younger sister. So that's when I guess she's saying, like the doctor said, don't have no more children with our dad, since my older sister's nothing wrong with her physically. So, or mentally, right? As you know, that's what people be saying. They in wheelchairs. Must be something wrong with their minds. Did you ever get to the point where you feel like that you couldn't take care of both of us? Like you wanted to put us in a home or anything?
No, that thought never crossed my mind. I would never abandon ship. God gave me this assignment to do, and I did. You know, I tried to make it whereas you both had the best life possible, as they say, normal. I could never walk away, put my kids in a home. You know how some parents, they be glad when their kids are at school or something, but I wanted my babies at home. I had to know how my children are being treated, how they're being taken care of, and I know I was doing it, so I know I was giving the best care. You know, one social worker asked me about putting you in a home, putting both of you, and had I ever thought about putting you in a home. Another social worker told me I couldn't take care of the both of you when you ended up getting a trach, that I couldn't do it. But I was thinking, she don't know who I know, and I've been doing it. I'm going to continue to do it. I sacrificed my life to try to make the best life possible for my 3 daughters that were watching me. So, you know, that was an assignment I had to do, and I've done it, I think, to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Mama. What has been some of your struggles as a single mother of 3 and 2 with disabilities?
The biggest struggles were, in the beginning, I didn't have a vehicle, a van, to transport you all back and forth to school. There was no bus service. You were getting to school late. The principal even threatened to put you both in detention for being late. But I had to, because you wasn't in wheelchairs in the beginning of school.
Right. And for those who don't know, like, accessible vehicles are very expensive for, you know, people in wheelchairs. Like, those are some very expensive vehicles. So.
And so then I would have to walk you back and forth, then Jamisha back and forth, from the car, well, from the apartment to the car, from the car to the school. And physical therapy, I had to do the same thing, park and walk you back and forth one at a time. You know, that was kind of exhausting. You know, the heavy lifting. You know, when time to have wheelchair repairs, I'm assisting men. You know, and these chairs are heavy, and I'm assisting men doing the heavy lifting, packing up when I'm moving, packing up everything in the house, everybody's things, unpacking, you know, finding accessible units, you know, and getting into, you know, getting a compassionate, caring landlord, not just looking for, to take advantage of me and my situation, because it was just the 3 of us at the time. And you know, it's hard to find something accessible. You call and call and call, and people say, yeah, it's accessible. Yeah, it's accessible. If it's not accessible, I'll allow you to do, you know, whatever work needs to be done to make it accessible until they get my money, and then it's a different story. So that made it a struggle as well, you know, still having to do the same thing. When the bathroom wasn't wide enough, the door spaces weren't wide enough for your chairs to get in, I still had to help both of you in and out the bathroom. Each time you have to go to the bathroom, walk you in. You know, it was a process. And, you know, just like I said, heavy lifting, getting you and your sister in and out the tub, up and down off the kitchen sink
to get our hair
counter to get your hair washed, you know. So those were, I think, the greatest struggles, not having a vehicle, an accessible vehicle for transportation, you know.
What has been your greatest joy about being on this journey with me?
Well, my greatest joy is my 3 daughters that I raised. 3 beautiful, strong women, hardworking, dedicated, like their mother. Never just giving up, always persevering. I think we get our strengths from one another. You know, watching you know, when you were in the hospital and you were still trying to keep me going, and then you and your sister get down. I try to do my best to keep you guys going, but you know, I accomplished raising 3 daughters. They all grew up in the church, all graduated high school with some college background, worked jobs, and you know, that's my greatest accomplishment. Y'all taught me how to love, you know, in a different way, you know. And it's just this journey we on it together. We continue on it, you know, and God has been blessing us. We will continue to journey through it together.
For those of you that are not familiar with muscular dystrophy, there is no cure for it. Physical therapy or occupational therapy is recommended to help slow down the muscles from getting weaker. So, yeah. Do you have any questions you want to ask me, Mom?
So,
before we wrap the video up?
Since I can't just tell how you feel or how your sister feel or felt, you know, because I don't have the disease in my body. But what are some of your greatest fears, or some of your greatest fears growing up and being in a house with a single mother?
Some of my greatest fears, for one, is losing you, because you were like the one that, you know, all 3 of my sisters depended on. But with my younger sister that was in a wheelchair, we both like literally depend on you as our legs, our arms, everything, like our strength. Like, you know, who kept the family going, the cooking, the cleaning, you know, getting us to the places we need to get to. Like, you had to think about this really on your own. Like, I didn't, like, if we ran into a problem, the only thing I could do was go to Mom, can you fix this problem, whatever. But you the only person I had to really lean on, like me and Jamisha. Like, that was a fear of mine growing up, like losing you. So do you got anything else you want to ask me, Mama? Or you got anything else you want to say for this Q&A, this short? Well, it's probably not going to be too short, but it's a Q&A.
Well, I just like to say, you know, keep going, you know, keep doing this. I see you enjoying it. I encourage you to keep going on, telling your story. It's your story, your journey, and I'm here for you. And I like to encourage single mothers, you know, with God, you can do it. I've done it, you know, and don't give up. Don't give up. Don't abandon ship. Your children need you. They depend on you. You can do it. God bless.
All right, so I guess that's about it for this video. I wanted to introduce my sister to my channel and my nephew. So. You're right. I'm bringing my nephew and my yourself to my channel. This is my older sister. I'm gonna show y'all. Yeah.
Hey guys.
This is my older sister. that my mom was talking about.
Come on, Gimme Boo. This is Gimmy's Boo.
My nephew.
New to the journey.
And this is my older sister, one that's 5 years older than me.
Tis me.
Y'all probably see her on my channel eventually doing something.
Yeah, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, you know,
And
comment
comments.
below.
Yeah. And say hey to my nephew. Say hey, Mari.
Say hey.
Mari, look.
Say hey. Say hey. Say hey.
Say tell him to subscribe. Say subscribe to my TT channel. Say subscribe. So thank you for watching my video. I guess that's all for now. So I guess I'll see y'all in the next video. I don't know what's next. But make sure y'all subscribe so y'all can, you know, be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys. Say bye.